Who would have thought that a teacher sharing art from one of his students will become the new art community's viral sensation and also cause a tidal wave of uncertainty amongst other unassuming artists faithful to their otherwise underdeveloping craft years after years of effort, and start a train of hate from artists who apparently aren't receiving the same amount of attention for their art.
This is Luna. She was created by a student who thinks nobody will ever like her art and nobody will ever make fan art of the creation she's made. That student's birthday also happens to be tomorrow, so wouldn't it be crazy if Luna went viral and inspired lots of fan art?
Mr. G Help Me, who conveniently goes by Mr. G on TikTok, posted a video on his account where he shared a drawing from one of his students who was a little under the weather, if you will, about their art, saying it wouldn't be appreciated by anyone because of how it looked. Judging from the said drawing Mr. G posted, you can tell the age range of the student would rather fall between 0 and old enough to play Mario Kart. Artists on TikTok immediately jumped on the bandwagon to aid the young arts prodigy, drawing fan art and sharing their own versions of the character. The original video from Mr. G immediately racked up a whopping 18 million views with almost 3 million likes, with people all showing amazing support to the artist and leaving heart-melting comments like these. With the usual toxicity of the art community, this is a breath of fresh air and I love seeing people come together. This is why the art community should exist. Get together and inspire younger artists to create. Seeing the fan art is crazy. I love every second of it. I wished I had a teacher who was this supportive. Growing up, my art teacher would berate me for drawing all over my papers, so thank you for supporting them. With over 15,000 comments on the original video, the art community on TikTok was immediately bombarded with an overload of cute Luna fan art, with everyone showing support for the young artist on their birthday. While all this short-lived positivity was gladly enjoyed by a large portion of the artists on TikTok, some other self-proclaimed critical thinkers for the ill-fortuned underdog artists, also known as CTF, FTIF, it doesn't make any sense, but stay with me here, put forward their argument that the whole Luna situation was quote-unquote male cow fecal matter, saying the artist was terribly bad and shouldn't deserve all the support they were getting from the art community.
Is it me, or does the whole Luna thing is bullshit? Like, I get that you're supporting this creator, but look at this mess of a drawing. My blind eye could do better.
Of course, in a normal situation, you'll expect all the comments to support the original poster of the video, hereby named Instigator, but to my utter surprise, our TikTok did the unthinkable and became not so toxic apparently. Wake me up if I'm dreaming, slap me silly if you have to. The entire comment section was filled with people calling the instigator out for trying to bully a child and all being totally positive of the situation. The term Guna artist was also thrown into the situation for some reason, which had me throwing my face under my unbuttoned shirt, trying to hide away in shame since I rather fancy all the Guna art posts and I'm slowly teetering between the line of becoming a Guna artist myself. But I'll rather leave that topic for an entirely different video. A TikTok video with almost 100,000 views and 7,000 likes tried to appease the small crowd of people who were weeping and mourning and gnashing their teeth at the thought of Luna going viral with ugly art, saying the artist was clearly trying their best while the hate mob was just sitting in a corner making fun of them, which is precisely the idea of every hate mob attack in the art community on TikTok, with one half of people attacking the other half for making an attempt at something they're not. As per not so usual, the video's comments were also filled with people in support of the young artists and telling everyone to allow them draw whatever they like, encouraging them to continue to make art. A TikTok user posted a video where they discussed in measurable lengths the result of the Luna situation and why other young impressionable artists who hope to achieve a similar height of virality with their art often fall short of the metaphorical popularity tree in their humble efforts of attaining internet fame and virality with their drawings.
A lot of you complain about not being famous on social media with your art, and it's because you're boring. Not you personally, but what you post. Your art can be the most beautiful, scrumptious piece of work that anyone has ever made. You could be making Mona Lisas every single day. And unless you're able to market yourself, unless you're able to make interesting videos, they're not going to go anywhere. Content has become more advanced. Your speed paints and time lapses aren't going to cut it. Your single photos where you're begging for views are not going to work. People don't want to see that.
While this part unfortunately happens to be true, artists who post speed paints and time lapses find it a tad bit easier when they add a narration or a relatable story time to the video as they make it, like the video we're watching right now.
I personally don't like it when people are asking me for views. It makes me less likely to engage with the artist. Social media is literally made to engage with people. If you cannot engage with people, whether that be through what you're saying or doing, or their response to what is being posted online, newsflash, you're not going to get anyone to stick around. They have no real reason unless they're super mega fans of your artwork, and that's just not going to happen for everyone.
This sheer need for engagement, either good or negative, is what has created a response-driven community on the internet, often resulting in rage-bait posts and comments about a situation, all in a bid to spite unassuming spectators into leaving a comment on the content as they consume it. While on social media no form of engagement is considered good or bad, people tend to lean into the more negative and toxic side of the community since they know it drives more engagement more often than not, and I'm speaking from experience.
The nature of posting on social media is that you're not going to get that much attention. There are so many people online. And if a child miraculously goes viral, why are you getting upset over it? Shouldn't you be happy for them? I mean, seriously. It sucks that not all of us get to be famous overnight. But why are you jealous of a child?
While most people agreed with the hearty message in the video and started asking the artist to make an explanation on how to make potentially viral worthy videos for artists, other people started expressing how they've noticed this problem evolve rapidly in the art community. I've seen so many people complain about how it's based on pure luck rather than skill, but in reality, it's none of those. It's always been marketing. I was so happy for Luna, and then immediately after, I saw a hate video. It's not that serious. I've seen a lot of those complaint videos and even more comments about people complaining they don't get many views and followers. The thing is, a lot of times, it's an obvious beginner artist with low quality posts. Nothing wrong with beginners, but you still gotta be realistic and ask yourself if it's really the algorithm being unfair to you, or if your content is just not that great. Comments like these and a lot more are why we end up having TikTok accounts pretending to be beginner artists faking their improvement, all in a bid to go viral. A TikTok artist who participated in the Luna fan art support train posted an image of their drawing on TikTok to join the trend and encourage the artist, but to their utter dismay, people on TikTok failed to show them the same unbiased encouragement, making fun of their drawing for being ugly and having weird proportions, with some people calling the drawing ugly because of the long neck and hands, and others suggesting the drawing will feel like a disappointment to the artist if they saw the weird looking image. Sad and discouraged from making the fan art, the artist ended up fixing the drawing, making it more appealing to the watchful eyes of TikTok, taking away all the uniqueness of the original drawing. It's undoubtedly sad that people have to conform to what others bully them to do with their drawings on TikTok. And while not every artist is susceptible to peer pressure, situations like this happen more often than not. Speaking about peer pressure, an account which goes by Zach M with a username I'll rather prefer not to mention in my YouTube video posted their drawing progress from 2020 to 2025 for people to acknowledge any bit of improvement in their work and commend them for their effort in striving for greatness and perfection in their drawings. The post, which had almost 900,000 likes and a whopping 4 million views, was littered with comments making fun of the drawing as per usual. Looks like bullying's back on the menu, boys. Yeah, I was thinking TikTok had become all positive all of a sudden. Shame. From 1/10 to 10/100. A tree died for this. Praying emoji. Before and slightly later. Crying emoji. You had 5 years. Sorry for ever touching a pencil. Why so much negativity? He improved even if it was not as gradual as others. He's still putting in the effort. Words never said on TikTok and possibly never understood as we speak. The comments kept piling up in the thousands, all making fun of the drawing and laughing at the artist for even trying. Now I'm not sure if this account is dedicated limited to posting art and could possibly be a meme account, but either way, undermining an artist's attempt to improve and laughing at them is quite possibly the worst thing to do to people who test their skills with a pencil. While it might seem like little to no progress to some people, it could be a huge lot for the artist, and every little bit of encouragement could blossom into a large tree bearing fruits in the form of art. So keep drawing, my good sir. You have the blessings of the art community hobbits.
Look what I drew.
That is not realistic at all. That sucks.
Well, I also did these.
Wow, straight copying a photograph. Not creative, not art.
Creative, recently I started to get creative.
My 5-year-old could do that. That is just paint thrown on a canvas.
Okay, both.
That is not realistic at all.
This video posted by artist KaylaCarlileart on TikTok has almost 900,000 views and is probably the most relatable video on TikTok. Posting a drawing only for the comments to tell you it sucks and doesn't look realistic is all too common these days, as we have seen earlier in this video. But one will be forced to assume that posting a better, much more realistic looking drawing will appease the comments into supporting your little art career and shed a semblance of positivity on your drawing. But sadly, that assumption is false. It doesn't end up that way. Regardless of what type of art you post or how it looks, someone is going to find a problem in the drawing or go to extreme lengths to create one if there isn't any. As I have concluded from experience, someone who criticizes your work without hinting at any improvements they intend for your development is simply someone who wants to hate you for no reason. My teacher used to be like that and it ruined my passion. I had a friend in high school and every time I show her my art, she will say rude comments. I feel your pain. Haters are going to hate no matter what, because they see that you are better than them. Sharing art on the internet is now a sport with a high risk, high reward ratio. The possibilities of you posting a drawing and having people call you out and tell you that your drawing is terrible because it unfortunately doesn't meet the same standards as other artists they enjoy is quite high. Having people compare your art with another artist has become increasingly challenging and inevitable at this point. The key to being happy as an artist on TikTok and the rest of the internet is to post drawings you enjoy and are proud of yourself. Not even sure why I have to say that out loud, because I'm expecting everyone to know that at this point. Being a teacher is a sport that doesn't sound as easy as it should. You're tasked with attending to pesky little kids all day long and finding interesting yet entertaining ways of impacting knowledge onto them, since apparently they're the leaders of tomorrow. But while doing all this, you're also tasked with being fashionable, or so it will seem. As a kid with a rather unpleasant relationship with the schooling system in my country, I spent most of my time in school outside the classroom than in it. But the few times I miraculously found myself in class, I clearly remember one of my teachers rocking those long-toed, pointy Oxford dress shoes and making sure each step they took, the heel of the shoe slammed hard into the floor, just to emphasize their dominance over a classroom filled with literal 13-year-olds for some reason. It was either those dress shoes or sandals which dragged across the floor when they walked, and you could always somehow tell which teacher was coming just from the way their footsteps sounded every time they walked toward class. My science teacher doesn't wear shoes. That's not what I was expecting to read off the get-go. Is there a scientific reason why he doesn't want his dogs cuddled up in a nice warm pair of New Balance 550s? Or is it just for the aesthetic? My teacher in 3rd grade used to wear Croc heels. I think Crocs are low-key the most comfortable casual footwear, followed closely by clogs. And I can say that confidently because I own a pair of each. I obviously can't say the same for Croc heels as I haven't worn them before, but they're looking pretty dashing, not gonna lie. My German teacher wore socks. Just socks. Scheiße, Digga. Wie viele Socken hat er? My teacher wore Crocs and his toes peeked out of them. Rocking a pair of Crocs while they're comfortable is an abomination if your toes are just plunging through the little holes. Get your little lower body grabbers in line. My English teacher doesn't wear shoes sometimes. He also climbs on tables to close the windows. The thought of that alongside the mental image is mildly disturbing. A common problem every artist on the internet as well as offline shares with their peers is the seemingly impossible task of drawing the other eye when it comes to putting a nice decent looking face together.
Damn. 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 Damn.
For some reason, drawing the other eye somehow proves to be insanely difficult even after so many tries. Placing them closely makes the face look awkward, but drawing them apart ends up making the drawing look like Dasha or a modern day Hey Arnold, which I find rather cute. While some digital artists end up using the forbidden method of copying the first eye and duplicating it to draw the second, traditional artists are stuck with trying over and over until they get a semblance of something that looks like an eye in their drawing. Artists on TikTok shared some tips on how they go about solving the conundrum for themselves, which they believed could change the way every other artist draws the second eye. Get a piece of paper, cover the first eye, scribble the front of the paper, and then place the piece of paper on the position you want the other eye, and then you will get a pattern for the first eye. Next, you outline it and you'll get the second eye you want. Sounds quite easy and extremely satisfying, but I'll only pass judgment if someone actually uses this hack and successfully draws a convincing set of eyes. Other artists express their dread for drawing eyes and how they face their fears by covering the other eye with hair, which seems to be a running joke in the art community where artists who can't draw the other eye escape it by covering it with huge fluffy hair. Ingenious to say the least. Fellow art commentary yapper on YouTube, Rin, made a video on TikTok where they explained how to draw the second eye for people who have problem with it, like yourself and I. The video goes into detail on how to approach drawing the eyes every single time with a slice of classic Rain humor to keep you entertained along the way.
You show great insights into the visual arts, but it turns out your genius is so great even you can't replicate it. Don't worry though, this time I'll teach you the hidden arts of drawing the other eye. You can draw the one eye already, why not just copy it, flip it, and just place it? It looks great. Why even go through all that trouble? You could just use the symmetry tool and just draw it once. It looks amazing. Honestly, why is everybody overcomplicating things? Too bad this method crumbles when you show the smallest bit of creativity. The tiniest angle shift in perspective will have your whole world crashing down. And also, the inverted filter has humbled you one too many times for you not to know that the human face is not symmetrical. Not usually, at least, but we're all still very beautiful. Listen, the way to draw the other eye, no matter the artistic situation you may find yourself into, is to not have another eye to draw. What I mean by that is that you should draw both of the eyes at the same time. You draw the upper lid on the right, then you draw it on the left. You draw the bottom lid on the right, then you draw it on the left. Then the pupil and the eyebrows and so forth. It is much easier to match them. You are, after all, only replicating one piece at a time.
Rin shares other mindfully helpful videos on her TikTok and YouTube channel, and the Association of Art Yappers on YouTube weep for her absence on the platform. But patiently, we await her return with another banger video to keep us entertained and laughing our way into a bag of Cheetos while kicking our feet up high in the air in our gaming chairs. Drawing on paper after drawing on the computer for so long is creating problems where there wasn't any years ago before digital art was a thing, forcing artists to drag their fingers across their paper, thinking it will zoom into the drawing so they can draw the small finer details in their work. While I have occasionally caught myself making this small gesture with my hands when drawing on paper, the problem I suffer with is desperately trying to hit imaginary Control or Command Z keys, trying to go back a step or two when drawing on paper. Muscle memory has me in its tight, warm clasp, and I'm comfortably wiggling my toes while cuddled up in between its fingers. Other artists in the comments somehow turned this into a debate between digital art and traditional art, with one side saying digital art is better and and inciting hate towards traditional artists, and the other side doing the exact opposite. It's inarguable that no form of art is better or superior than the other, and when it comes down to it, every artist is allowed to draw whatever they like, using any art form or tool they're comfortable with, as long as they enjoy what they're doing and are not hurting anybody in the process. Arguing between drawing on the computer or drawing on paper is pretty pointless, since both of them are equally enjoyable and everyone should be doing both. So don't starve yourself from a good sheet of paper because you have an iPad. You're blessed enough to be born in a time where you have access to both. So treat yourself to some fun and try everything out. But it looks like you've made it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like, share the video with a friend, and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. With all that being said, I'll see all you pretty penguins in the next video. Bye!